Good morning, students. Today we will start the Political Science Chapter 3, that is Democracy and Diversity. What does the democracy means? You might know very well. So, democracy is a form of a government in which the representatives are being elected by the common people. Our country is a democratic country and we are having the power to elect our representatives. And diversity means the difference of on the basis of their society, their religion, their beliefs. So these brings the diversity. As we know that India is a very big country and we can find the diversity on the basis of religion, gender, caste and their beliefs. We can see the physical feature diversity. We can see the variety of physical diversity in our country, right? So these diversity, here we are talking about the diversity among the humans on the basis of their religion, gender, caste and their beliefs and different things. These diversity, what we have to do is, if we have to run our government smooth, what we have to do? We have to bring this diversity under one roof, because this diversity can bring the dissatisfaction which can result in the revolts. Yes, अगर हमने डाइवर्सिटी में लोगों को इक्वालिटी नहीं दिया या लोगों को ये बिलीव नहीं दिलाया दैट दे आर इक्वली, they are being treated equally, they are not being discriminated, they are safe, they have equality, they have faith, they can believe their government. So what we have to do is, we have to bring the people's belief under one roof, that is different beliefs, their different thoughts, their different needs under one roof. And that is only possible when we have a democratic form of a government. Why? Because democracy gives the power to their common people to elect their representatives, means the power is into the hands of common people. They are being given the equality, they are being given the power. So the common people are actually playing a major and important role in the forming of a democratic government. So if they are playing a role, so they will have more faith on their government, which will make them and they will bring them under one roof. To understand this concept of democracy and diversity, here we have taken a story from Mexico Olympics, in which the medal ceremony of 200-meter race in 1968 Olympics held at Mexico City. So here we have taken a story of Mexico Olympic, which was held in 1968 Olympics, and the Olympics was held in Mexico City. Here they are showing you the scene of medal ceremony of 200-meter race. You might have seen the Olympics, you might have seen any sort of games. After that, when they win, what we used to do, we held a prize distribution or medal ceremony, right? So here also they have shown you the scene of a picture of medal ceremony which was held in Mexico City in 1968 for 200-meter race. In this medal ceremony, the two men standing with clenched fist, unraised and heads bowed, means they were standing straight, while the American national anthem was played, are the US athletes. Means during that period the national anthem of America was played during the this ceremony. So what happened next, that the anthem was played are the US athletes, because US athletes won the medal. So as we have a trend of playing the national anthem of the medal winners, the countries of medal winners. So what happened next? As we know that the medal ceremony was the medal was given to the three persons, the gold medal, silver and the bronze. So here Tommy Smith won gold medal, John Carlos won bronze medal. They were African Americans, and the African Americans or Black Americans term used for mainly to descendants of the Africa who were brought into America as slaves between 17th century. They are basically from Africa and they were brought in 17th century as a slave to America. So they were not being termed as Americans, but they were being termed as Black Americans. So they are being termed as African Americans. Totally they were not given the proper name as Americans, but they were being termed as the African Americans, which clearly marks that they were not totally from America, but they were from the Africa which came to America, which were brought to America as a slaves. So is it आपके according, is it okay, is it good for those people that they are being termed as African Americans? क्योंकि इस नाम से उनको बोल के उसको एक टर्म दे दी गई एंड उनको एक डिमार्केट कर दिया गया दैट दे आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द रेस्ट ऑफ द सोसाइटी. What happened next? They received the medals wearing black socks and no shoes to represent black poverty. When they went for the medal, to receive the medal, what they did, they were wearing black socks, no shoes, to represent black poverty. The black gloves and raised clenched fist were meant to symbolize black power. Means they were wearing black gloves in hands and socks in and no shoes were wearing. They were not wearing shoes, they were only wearing the black socks. And what they did, they clenched the fist, which represent the black power. With this gesture they tried to dream. Means when they were there to receive the medal, they were wearing black socks. They want to they want to represent the black poverty which they are facing, or mean the discrimination which they are facing in their country. That is, with this gesture they try to draw international attention to racial discrimination in the United States. By this they want to show that they are being discriminated in their country, because they want to take the international attention that they are being ill-treated or discriminated in their country. Because everyone knows during the Olympics, all news channels, all agencies, all marketing agencies are there to get the maximum information and the news first from all the corners, all the events which are happening in the Olympics. So they thought to get the international attention, that they will easily get the international attention that they are being discriminated in their country because they were African Americans. Even though they won the medal for America, but still they were being termed as the African Americans. So here is one thing, that if they won the medal that is for America, but they will be termed as African Americans. Means medal दिया तो वो America का है, but they were termed as the African Americans. Is it okay? So the Black Power movement emerged in 1966 and lasted till 1975, which was most militant and racist movement in India. Means racist movement means racist movements is discrimination on the basis of their skin color, जिसको कहते हैं गोरे एंड काले का भेदभाव करना. The racism, the discrimination on the basis of skin color. So they were actually struggling with those black power movement that was emerged in 1966 and was till 1975. So this type of racist movement was held in USA, which was showing the black power. So here you can see that the black power symbol is there, and they were struggling for it, for their equality, for their equal rights. As we discussed that the gold medal and the bronze medal was won by they were being won by the African Americans, 2 persons from African and Americans. But what about the silver medal? Yes, the white Australian athlete Peter Norman wore a human rights badge on his shirt during the ceremony to show his support to the 2 American athletes. The third person was from the Australia, and he was wearing the human rights badge, which was worn by him to show the support of those 2 American athletes who were struggling for the black poverty. That is, they were discriminated on the basis of the African Americans. As I told you that the African Americans are those people who came from Africa to America, or being brought to America in a form of a slave during 17th century. So the Australian person who supported those people, those 2 African Americans, what happened next? The International Olympic Association held Carlos and Smith guilty of violating the spirit of Olympic by making political statements. Because if you are going for the International Olympics, it does not mean that you can use your power or you can use that particular ground for your own issues, which was your civil issues. Means they are having their issues within their country. They should go and get it sorted in their country. But what they did the political statement on the ground of International Olympic, where the Olympic was held, that means in Mexico Olympic ground. They did that. So what happened is the International Olympic Association, they found that they both were guilty of violating the spirit of Olympic by making political statement. Their medals were taken back. Norman also suffered a lot criticism. He was not included in the Australian team for next Olympics. These 2, John Carlos and Smith, they both were being held for violating these Olympic rules and making the political statement, whereas the Norman was also being criticized and he was banned from playing the next Olympic from the Australian side. मतलब उसको next Olympic में खेलने के लिए मना किया गया, उसको बैन कर दिया गया. किसको? नॉर्मन ने. what the Norman did, he supported those 2 African Americans by wearing the human rights badge. So their country did that. So what happened? But their action succeeded in gaining international attention for the civil rights movement in USA. It was not being accepted by their countries, but what was the result? Yes, the international attention was given to those people, and internationally the whole countries in rest of part of the world came to know that they were fighting for their civil rights. They are not being equally treated, they are being termed as black power. So the civil rights movement in USA started from 1954 to 1968. So they were struggling for their rights, their civil rights, that they should be equally treated as the rest of the Americans, and they should not be termed as African Americans. they should be termed as the Americans because they are from America now. So they got the international attention. So the next is that the civil rights movement. As from the term itself is showing that the civil rights movement means civil. Civil means within their country and they are fighting for their rights, and movement, as you know, that when the dissatisfaction arises, the people are fighting for their rights through movements. So what does the movement aimed? The movement aimed at abolishing legal racial discrimination against African Americans, and this movement was led by Martin Luther King Jr. As you can see his pic also, he is Martin Luther King Jr. The movement practiced non-violent methods for civil disobedience against racial discrimination laws. So this movement has given a widespread movement, and this has practiced non-violent methods of civil disobedience against racial discrimination laws. So he was the king who has actually given his support and worked very hard for this movement. He has given his thoughts and the ideas for getting or discriminate should be stopped. Discrimination. He fight for this. So here we talked about how the Mexico Olympic place or the area is being taken advantage of getting the internationally attention for the discrimination which was held within their country by the African American people.